Okay, so you've cut out all of your pieces. We have the two pieces here for our bunny body, front and back. Over here, we have our bunny arms, right here, front and back. I went ahead and thought I'd show you how to stitch the ears together. So I have two pieces here with the pink on top for the little insides of the ears, a little pink bunny nose, and we have a mouth, two eyes with the whites and the pupils, and I've got the little teeth. Now, there's some extra parts on the pattern, some little extra pattern pieces, and I wanted to talk to you for a second about how you position things, the face, on your doll before you glue them. So you're going to put down your little ears or your little eyes first, okay, and then you've got your pupils. Now, your eyes can be really expressive depending upon, do you want them to look up? Do you want them to look down? Do you want them right in the middle? It's your choice. So I think I'm going to have this guy looking off to the side a little bit. And then the tiny little nose, your little nose. And then you've got the mouth. Now, not everybody is going to want to have just the happy little bunny mouth like that, the little happy face. That's the little happy face. It's very cute. The thing is, just by changing a couple of things around, you can change the whole look of the doll. So I've included some little eyelid pieces that you can also cut out and glue down. You can see I cut them out in a slightly different color. Okay, this changes it around. And then just by taking the mouth and doing this, the bunny is not very happy anymore, is it? Also, when it comes to the type of mouth that you've chosen, I've given you a couple of different choices for mouth. So you could have the teeth like this, and it could be a scared bunny, or you can put the teeth at the bottom instead of up at the top. It's really your choice. Now, along with this, you can change the positioning of the ears. You don't have to have them like this. You could change them when you're sewing and make them upright, so you have surprised bunny. Or, again, I love the little eyelids. And it changes the whole look of your little piece. So kind of mess around with it and see what you like. I've tried to include some different versions of things on the pattern so you can have a little fun with it and decide what you want your little animal to do before you glue everything down. Okay, we're going to go with the basic happy bunny. Now, we're going to need to glue things down. Now, for the gluing down, you're going to need two things. One of them is some tacky glue. I use Aleene's all the time. I think it's a really great product. It keeps everything where it's supposed to go, and it dries really fast and really securely. So we're going to be using tacky glue, and you can see I've used the brush-on version, and I'll show you why in just a second. Now, we also are going to need some toothpicks. I use toothpicks a lot when I'm working with positioning small things because I can kind of get in there and push things around. And I like these particular toothpicks because they're flat on one end and pointy on the other end. So that's why I got this kind. Now, when you're gluing things down, always put everything where you want it, and you're going to be moving some things around. But you never just want to start with the faces over here in a pile and then you just start gluing things down. You really need to solidify it in your mind where you want things to go. Now, you can see with this Aleene's, it's got a brush on it, and I really like it. Aleene's doesn't drip either. So I like to tip it and then put it like that, not necessarily in the middle of the bunny. But I'm going to be using my fingers and this toothpick to glue everything down. So the first thing that I want to glue down, I'm going to move the pupils up. I'm going to glue the eyes down first. I almost always do the eyes first on everything. Now, you can see I'm holding it in one hand, kind of on the edge, but holding it so it's supported by my fingers. And then I'm just going to take my finger. I've tried some different ways of doing this, and this may seem a little messy, but it really gets the glue where it's supposed to go. And if I know I'm going to be gluing down a lot of pieces, I'll have a washcloth that's damp next to my workstation, and so I can wipe my fingers off and I don't have the glue all over everything. And you want to get a nice coating on there. Sometimes when you're putting it on, you can see the little hairs will kind of move around sometimes from the felt, and I'll have to push those back on. And then make sure you give it a good press down so that glue makes contact. Now, here are the little pupils. And again, I'm kind of supporting them in one. You can really see the glue going on in this one. Can you see how I've got that all the way around? Now there's one of those little hairs. I'm going to press that back in there. This little bunny's going to be looking this way. And you have to remember, you've got your glue on one finger. You're pressing down with your other clean fingers, because I've done it before when I've been in a rush and I've had glue here and I press down on top, which means I have to pull everything back up quickly because the Aleene's dries so fast, and then re-glue things very quickly. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to move the mouth down. I'm going to do the nose next. The nose I'm going to use the toothpick for because it's really, really tiny. So I'm going to come over here and off the brush, I'm going to get some glue and I'm going to spread it on here. The glue is really, really helpful. And if you get too much on it, I will actually wipe it on my hand. Okay, and then you can actually use the toothpick to position. So I'm holding it with the toothpick and then I just pull it out from under and press down. And it's stuck down there really, really well. And then here's the mouth. You can see it shows up really well on the black. Now, if you like, you can use the clear tacky glue. It works really well. I haven't found that there's really any need to use the no-sew fabric glue because there just really isn't any need. And again, this is a tiny piece, so I'm going to get my little toothpick. I'm going to add a little glue. And be careful, always look to see where the shiny parts are when you're gluing anything down with the white. And then there it is, it's stuck down. And here's a little bit more glue for this little tooth. Okay. And okay. Now, the face is glued down. You need to let it dry for at least a half an hour before you sew the rest of the doll together. I usually let it dry overnight. But it's up to you. It depends on how fast you want to make your doll. Now, I'm going to be gluing things down also for the ears. And what you're going to do with these, you're going to get a bigger wipe of glue. And you start out on the edge, and you just keep working your way back. And getting some more glue on there. And all the way down the edge. Now when you're gluing these down, start from positioning from the top to the bottom so you have it even all the way down. Now you can see sometimes you'll get a little something in there that you don't want. The toothpick is great for getting rid of that. I also will have a pair of tweezers around too. If something gets on there that I don't want, I can also pull it off before it dries. So you can see I got a nice blob of glue on there. Be careful, I got a little glue right there. And go down. The tacky glue does dry clear, so if you get a little bit on the front, it will dry clear. It's not like it's going to dry in a big white blob, which is, again, one of those reasons I use Aleene's tacky glue. Okay, so there are the ears. Now, if you wanted to, you could, like I said, you could skip putting that other piece back here to sew down. I like the finished look of it, so that's the reason why I use two pieces. Now again, you've got to make sure that you get yourself all cleaned up before you start doing anything else, and the toothpick goes in the trash can.